Last week, Justin Trudeau announced that he's implementing a $107 billion payout called the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. Now, a big portion of this is going to go directly to people like you that have been impacted by the COVID-19 crash, and they're going to be putting money directly in your pockets. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can claim your $2,000 a month from the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark, and welcome to Mediocre Money. This is my show all about personal finances. I dive into advice, strategies, and research, helping you and I become financially independent. So now, over the past couple weeks, there's been a ton of changes with the COVID-19 crash. Initially, Trudeau announced that there was an emergency care benefit, and then he announced that there was a different emergency support benefit, and no one really knew exactly what each of these different benefits offered. Now, they've all been rolled into one benefit called the Emergency Response Benefit, and that's going to include everything from providing banks with more funding to providing actual Canadian people like you and I that have been impacted by the COVID-19 crash, giving us $2,000 a month for up to 4 months at least. Now, $107 billion might sound like a lot of money, but the US is actually doing $2 trillion in their package. If we were to compare, which I don't really like to do, but the US is giving every citizen $1,200, just a one-time payment, whereas the Canadian government, they're giving $2,000 per month for at least 4 months for Canadians that have been affected by the COVID-19 crash. And I'm not necessarily a macroeconomics expert. However, if I were to compare the US and the Canada's bailout packages, I would say the Canadian one, I'd much rather have that than the US. Now, one part of this bailout package is that there's a 6-month moratorium for student loans interest, which means if you have federal student loans, you don't have to pay interest on it for at least 6 months, which might be extended if this crash continues to go on. There's also an increase in the childcare benefit, and I believe it's up to $500 per child. And the Canadian government is also supplementing the GST credit for low-income individuals and households. Now, a lot of people are worried about the potential long-term impacts of such large bailout packages. Will it cause our inflation to go up? Yes, most likely. However, our world has not been in a pandemic like this in many, many years, and most macroeconomics experts don't even really know what's going to happen just because it's such unfamiliar territory. And the best part about this $107 billion bailout package from the Canadian government is that they are giving people who can't get EI $2,000 a month for at least 4 months. Now, there are some eligibility requirements around this. However, the Canadian government has been loosening up on their eligibility requirements, so you'd be surprised how many people would qualify for this $2,000 a month. If you're still employed but not being paid, you are eligible for this free money. If you are self-employed but are not being paid or not making income, you are also eligible for this money. If for whatever reason you're not working and you're not eligible for EI, you are eligible for this emergency response benefit. Now, if you are on EI, the federal government has said that you will continue to receive your EI payments and that you are not eligible for this benefit. So that's the one person that would not be eligible for this benefit. And students, it's unclear right now if students will be eligible for this benefit. However, I would highly recommend applying for the benefit anyways if you are a student, especially if you don't have your summer job anymore. Look into applying for this and see if you can get it. Now, I'm about to hop on my computer and walk you through step-by-step how to apply for the Canadian Response Benefit. But before I do that, I just have a really important warning. The Canadian government has come out saying that there are text scams going around there and potentially phone call scams that are pretending to offer you the Canadian response benefit, but not actually giving it. So be very wary of any sort of text, emails, or unsolicited calls to you that are offering you this benefit. The only way you can get it is through the Canadian government website. All right, let's hop on and I'll go show you how to do that right now.
Okay, so we're back in the house here. I am on my computer, and the way you apply to the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit is you start off by going to canada.ca or the CRA website. So if you just Google search for CRA, you'll find Canada.ca Revenue Agency right here. So you're going to click on that and you're going to follow the login process. So you're going to click sign into my CRA account. Then you're going to go to my account. Then you're going to scroll down here. You can either sign in with a login partner or you can just do your regular CRA login or you can register if you don't have a CRA account. So register, so these right here are really important. So this is outlining, because there's so many people right now that are applying to the emergency response benefit, that they've broken out. Each people can apply based on their birth dates. So if you look right here, we have January, February, March. You guys are allowed to apply on Mondays. So that's it, not just apply, but this is your dedicated login days. So right now there's so much traffic on the CRA's website, you can't even log in unless you're logging in with your appropriate day. So they're really trying to reduce the overload on the CRA system. So it's really important that we all help follow these guidelines. So if you're born January, February, or March, Monday, so today is when I'm filming this, which is Monday, you're allowed to go on and apply for the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. April, May, June, Tuesdays; July, August, or September, Wednesdays; October, November, and December, Thursdays. And for any month, so that's every month, you can apply on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're allowed to go into your CRA account, apply for the CERB benefit, and do whatever else you need to do. So once you get here, you're going to go and click login, and you're going to find, obviously on your appropriate day, but you're going to find your own login. If you haven't ever logged in with the CRA before, that's okay. It's super easy to do. If you're a Canadian citizen, you can just click CRA register, and then you'll be able to make your own account. And it's really important because there's lots of great features within the CRA account that every Canadian should have. There's things like uncashed checks, which will show you free checks. Actually, I'll link to that in my YouTube video that I'm making right now up at the very top, which up here-ish, ding, 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 right here. So I'll link to my video on how to get free money from the CRA, which is an awesome feature of the CRA's account. So in order to get your benefit, you make sure you sign up for the according day based on your birth date, and you go and you click login. I've already logged in, so here is my account overview. So we start off by reading the COVID-19 Emergency Response Benefit. So the Government of Canada issues payments for workers residing in Canada who have lost income or self-employment income for reasons related to COVID-19. You can apply for this benefit through either the CRA or Service Canada, but not both. By applying, you're giving the consent to the CRA to use your tax information for the purposes of administering and enforcing the CERB, and you're agreeing to blah, 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 blah. Okay, so right here, this is the big button. You just hit apply. So we're going to hit apply. Let's see what happens. Oh, and one more thing I want to show you guys first, though, is I'm going to go back. So this little thing down here, uncashed checks, that's what I was talking about earlier. So that's where you can find some free money. And if you have not set up direct deposit, you absolutely should. That's the fastest way to get your CERB benefit. And you set up direct deposit by clicking the third link down in under related services that says arrange my direct deposit. So I have direct deposit set up, but I didn't before 2016. So I actually had some uncashed checks in here from 2015 that I was able to cash in. So that's great. So make sure you set up direct deposit first. It's going to be the quickest way to get any uncashed checks that the government sends you, or any CERB benefit, which is $500 per week. So $2,000 per month for at least 4 months right now. Now, there's been a lot of debate about whether or not certain people are going to get the CERB. A lot of students saying, like I did have a summer job last year. I don't have my summer job this year, but I don't apply for it, or that they say they're not eligible for it. I would recommend applying. If you have made at least $5,000 in the previous year in 2019, and you are not going to make that, or you are making significantly less, or you have lost a job offer, like a summer job offer, I'd recommend applying for it anyways, just because you never know what can happen. So let's go in here. We're going to click apply. We're going to see how this works. So here we are in the COVID-19 Emergency Response Benefit application. Eligibility, okay. So you are not allowed to receive this benefit while you're on EI. So we already know this. That's one of the conditions. So to be eligible, you must meet the following requirements. You're a resident of Canada. You are 15 years or older. You are the first time you're applying for this. Obviously, it's the first time for everyone to apply for it. And what else is there? Okay, so you have stopped working or will stop working due to COVID-19 for at least 2 weeks of a 4-week period. So during that, you are not going to be receiving EI, self-employment income, or any provincial or federal benefits related to maternity or parental leave. So if you're on maternity leave or paternity leave, you are not eligible for this. If you're still getting paid, that is. Oh yeah, you have not quit your job voluntarily, so that's a big thing. You have not applied for, you're not receiving CERB or EI benefits for the same period. Yeah, so that's the same thing as before. You have a minimum income of $5,000 in the last 12 months. So this is what was really important, which I was telling you guys before, is that from the last 12 months, you have to have made at least $5,000. So this is why I think some students, not all students, but some students might be eligible for this if you've had a summer job before where you've made over $5,000. So if you have had that, and for some whatever reason, you're a student, you made more than $5,000 last year, and you are not going to be making that money this year, I would recommend applying for it. At least they can say no. So let them say no. You don't disqualify yourself before you even apply for it. So eligibility periods. So eligibility periods are fixed in 4-week periods. You may apply for maximum benefit of up to 16 weeks, so 4 months. So if you are found ineligible, you will be required to repay the benefit. So that's a huge thing right there too. If one of these things because in this eligibility requirements here that we just read through, there's nothing explicitly stating that students are not allowed to apply for this. And we got to make that very clear, because I've seen a lot of articles been going around with like the Globe and Mail and the Financial Post saying that students can't receive this. From what I've read in here, there's no reason that a student who has made over $5,000 in the past 12 months would be ineligible for this. So I would recommend applying for it. And I mean, I guess worst case scenario, you will be required to repay the benefit. But I would argue that if you are a student that's made at least $5,000 in the past 12 months, that you are eligible. So I would actually argue against the CRA if they come back later and say, hey, you're ineligible, like, we want you to repay it. So the next step is you select a period. So it starts from March 15th to April 11th. And then we go next. Certification. So period, March 15th, I certify that, blah, 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 blah. Yep. I must repay anything it's not entitled to. Okay, so this looks like it's the last step here. And I personally am not going to go any further steps than this, because I'll just show you guys here. I am technically not eligible for this because I am making money, because I am self-employed. So I'm not eligible for this. So this is as far as I'm going to go, because this is my own CRA account that I'm logged into here. Obviously, we should only be logging into our own CRA account unless maybe have a tax accountant or something that does that. So I'm not going to check this and go next, because that would be me potentially applying for this benefit, which I'm not eligible for. So that's how easy it is, guys. You just need to make your CRA account. You need to log in on your appropriate day, and you need to just click the big red button or the big blue button that says apply. And then it just takes you through these 2 forms, and you just select that you're eligible for this, and then you go next, and that's it. Now, we should be expecting payment within 3 days, but that's 3 days if you have direct deposit set up. And it's only 3 days. Everyone gets it at the same time. So the 3 days would be happening Friday, Monday, Tuesday, I guess Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So that's April 14th, I think, is when the earliest we will be receiving it by, if you have direct deposit set up.
All right, and we're done. It's just as simple as that, and you are well on your way to get paid $2,000 a month for the next 4 months. You can usually expect payment to come in within 10 days of your application being approved. Now, don't stop this video just yet. There's 3 very important things now that you have to do. Number 1 is post this video to your Facebook page or your LinkedIn, or share it around however you want to do so, because there's a lot of Canadians that don't realize they need to apply in order to receive this benefit. In the US, it's different. Everyone's just getting one cut check. You don't have to apply in the US. But in Canada, we must apply if you want to get this benefit. So please share this around, because many people don't know that. Number 2, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and hitting the like button. It's my goal this year to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate you joining me and this community that's trying to better our personal finances. And number 3, stay at home and stop meeting up with other people. I don't care if you've just recently traveled or you've been staying home for the past 3 years. Every single Canadian should be staying at home as much as possible and not going out and interacting with other people, including going to stores. And we need to stay at home until we've completely gotten rid of this virus. The sooner we can shut this virus down, the quicker we can get back to normal. And I know that it's starting to warm up, but at the current rate that we're going is not looking like we're gonna have the summer that we all wanted and expected. And I know us Canadians, we love our summers. So please everyone, let's take this spring to stay at home and not go out. And so hopefully we can get our July and August back. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video. Peace out.